Okay, we are back, and again, we are looking at Chapter 9, Parenterals, Compounding Sterile Formulations. Here, we're using and talking about aseptic techniques that should be done within the hoods and cabinets that we just finished talking about. Notice we have an individual with a megaphone shouting it out, indicating that you must be able to follow these particular techniques. If not, you lead to challenges for the patient. Okay, so we are definitely going to go over these techniques. So here we're going to talk about the sum total of methods and manipulations required to minimize contaminations. Okay. And again, can't say it loudly enough. Working with a laminar hood, flow hood, or biological safety cabinet does not, in itself, guarantee the sterility of CSPs. But what we need is also aseptic techniques that must be included with work within hoods and cabinets. Okay, so what are some of the aseptic techniques for hoods and cabinets? 1. Personnel involved in admixture parenteral solution must use good aseptic techniques. Positions of materials aseptically working inside hoods and cabinets require training, practice, and attention to details. Never sneeze into a hood. Never sneeze out. Okay, if you need to sneeze, you need to turn your head. And what is suggested is you sneeze within your elbow. Okay. Closed door windows. Contaminants can't go in, so you want to make sure that there's not flow of air coming from outside to inside. Perform all works at least 6 inches within the hood. That prevents contamination from getting from the edge of the hood into your work. Maintain a direct open path between the HEPA filter, talk about that, and the area inside of the hood. Place non-sterile objects downstream the sterile ones, so that it will be closer to the edge versus to the sterile ones, which should be farther back within the hood. Large objects shouldn't be placed to the back of the work area because that will prevent the flow of the sterile air that's supposed to be coming into the hood. Okay, so those are just some of the things that you need to do. So when you're working with an aseptic situation or technique associated with a hood or cabinet, you want to make sure that everything you need to do to your compounding or to work with that particular prescription or medication is all in one place. Okay, gather all of the necessary materials for operation. Make sure that they are, 1, not expired. Sometimes you have to wipe them down with alcohol because you don't want dust. Because remember, talking about dust, you have microorganisms associated with it. Make sure none of your containers that you're using has leaks, and this can be done by squeezing the plastic solution containers. Only have essential objects and materials necessary for the product preparation. That is what should be placed not only within the laminar flow hood, but also within the biological safety cabinets. Okay, something that's also very important is going and hand washing. Gowning, rather, and hand washing. Okay, so here's the individual. This person is going to work in a biological safety hood. Notice that they have placed a sterile garment around them, sterile pants on. They have boots, the booties that go over shoes, also a mask. All of those are very important, especially when working with a biological safety cabinet. All jewels must be removed from the hands and wrists. Lint-free garments and barrier clothing should be used, and hand washing of the forehand. So basically, like you see in surgery. Okay, because again, since your arm and hand will be in to the fume hood, even though you're a glove, you just want to make sure that you're using antibacterial soaps and have work soap for your fingernails, interlace the fingernails, wash up to the elbows, etc. And mostly this is for working not necessarily with a laminar fume hood, even though this is can be helpful in a biological uh, safety cabinet. So work without interruptions, going in and out, in and out, in and out to find things for your break. Make sure that you have all your work there, and you're able to work without interruption. Place non-sterile objects downstream. Sterile objects, we talked about that. Both for a biological safety lab, a cabinet, and also for laminar fume hood. Place the larger object towards the front of the laminar fume hood away from the HEPA filter. And this cannot be done sterile. And also you want to protect yourself, so there's no eating, there's no drinking, there's no having talk on your cell phone or with a friend or a colleague, no coughing into the laminar fume hood. Okay, working in a laminar fume hood. Again, kind of work area at least 3 inches from the back and 6 inches from the front of the laminar fume hood. Make sure nothing obstructs the flow of air from the HEPA filter over the work area. Nothing should pass behind the sterile object and the HEPA filter in a horizontal airflow hood or above a sterile object in a vertical airflow hood. Everything should be wiped with alcohol, especially anything that needs to be punctured. And with each new, we use a new wipe for each surface. Once you wipe, you discard of that particular wipe, and then you do it again with the surface. Okay? These are some other very important things that's associated with working with hoods and cabinets. Alright, within those hooded cabinets, most likely, or sometimes you'll be working with vials. Okay? And when we talk about vials, vials are very important. There are two types of cartridge vials that are used in negative admixture. One contains a drug already in the solution. The other contains a powder that must be dissolved in a diluent. To make a solution in either case, a needle will be used to penetrate the closure of the vial, and so that needs to be done very, very carefully for many reasons. Okay, so to withdraw a solution from a vial, you want to introduce a volume of air into the vial equal to the volume of solution to be removed. Draw the solution into a syringe and remove air bubbles. Remember that the plunger and the tip of the syringe are sterile and must not be touched. Okay, so here is an example of what we talk about. We talk about vials, again, containing solutions. Okay, notice you go at an angle and then you move it up and down into the vial. And this is called coring. Again, very, very careful, because one of the things that you don't want to do is get the rubber into the needle, because you don't want to put that into the patient. And also you don't want to break any glass and get that into the needle. Again, it can cause challenges. So coring is when the needle damages the rubber closure of the parenteral container, causing fragments of the closure to fall into the container and contaminates its content. A big no. Okay. So how do you go about preventing coring? Well, you want to make sure that the vial is flat on a flat surface. When you position the needle on the surface of the closure at a 45-degree angle, and then put downward pressure on the needle while gradually bringing the needle to an upright position, 80-degree angle. Okay, right. So that is all we are working on need to know in relationship to working with vowels. Now, what are ampules? Okay, glass ampules are always broken open at the neck. So what you have here is you have what are preschool ampules. They have color stripes around the neck to indicate it has been weakened by the manufacturer to facilitate opening. Some ampules are not pre-scored by the manufacturer, and the neck must be first weakened or scored with a fine file. Okay. So these are techniques that can be used with an ampule. So what you do is to position the needle or straw on the shoulder area of the ampule. Place the bevel edge against the side of the ampule. Okay. So an ampule is very unique in that it is a single dose only drug container. A vial could possibly be used several times, which we just finished talking about. But here the ampule was only used once. We want to gently tap the top of the ampule to bring your medication to a lower portion of the ampule. We want to clean the neck with a alcohol swab and glass the ampule between your thumbs and index fingers of the neck while keeping the swab in place, and then forcibly snap the neck away from you. Okay. So one of the questions about ampules before I move on to the next section are there any disadvantages associated with ampules? And the answer is that yes. Major disadvantage of the ampules is that the solution can be contaminated by glass shards and the ampule is open, okay, because it breaks the ampule neck. Another disadvantage is that the solution in the ampule must be transferred out the ampule with a syringe and filter needle. And another disadvantage is the ampule cannot be resealed once it has been opened, and any remaining solution must be discarded. Okay. And so you don't really see ampules used much within a pharmacy setting. Okay. Well, we've been talking about parenterals. These are devices that allows for medicine to enter the individual outside of enterals, outside of the alimentary canal. So many of the manipulation performed with aseptic techniques require the use of syringes, needles, and filters. Here is an example of some common types of syringes. And you have the regular or the slip tip, and that is right over here. These tips use fractions to hold the needle on the syringe. A needle is relatively secure, but it may slip off if not properly attached or if considerable pressure is not used. Okay, and this one is called regular or the slip tip. Here you have the lure lock, tips that have a collar with a groove that locks the needle in place. Okay, here you have eccentric. Notice it's to the side. Eccentrics are tips which are off-center and are used when the needle must be parallel to the plane of injection, such as an intradermal injection. And then you have this here. This is one. This is a catheter. Also can be considered a oral syringes. Here again, oral syringes. These types of it have tips larger than the slip tip. Are used to administer liquids by routes other than the parenteral administration, and needles will not fit